Imagine this, a coin so small you could lose it in your palm, yet so powerful it could change your life forever. Hidden for decades in pockets, drawers, and dusty old boxes, these wheat pennies hold secrets of unimaginable wealth. Today, we open a vault of American history, a treasure chest sealed in time, where every coin tells a story of luck, mystery, and value beyond belief. People walk past these coins every single day, unaware that one of them could be worth more than a lifetime of savings. From forgotten mint marks to strange color layers that no machine can replicate, these coins aren't just currency, they are living relics of American heritage, passion, and power. And in today's auction world, they're making shockwaves, breaking records, turning collectors into millionaires overnight, and rewriting what we thought possible for rare U.S. coins. So stay with me until the very end, because one of the coins you will see today might just be hiding in your own home. Welcome to Secret of U.S. Coins, where every episode uncovers the untold stories of America's hidden treasures. Now let's begin with a coin that's turning every collector's head. A piece from 1951 that looks ordinary until you discover its secret. Coin number 1. At first glance, the 1951 wheat penny might look like any old Lincoln cent sitting in your change jar, simple, reddish-brown, maybe worn from age. But behind that modest face of Abraham Lincoln lies one of the most shocking chapters in United States. Minting history, a chapter that collectors are still uncovering to this very day. When the San Francisco Mint struck this coin in 1951, America was rebuilding after the hardships of World War II. Copper was scarce, zinc was returning to coinage experiments, and the mint was adjusting to post-war metal shortages. But in that process, a rare blend of metal and environmental reaction created a mysterious black layer across the coin's surface, a layer that gave it a dark, almost zinc-like sheen. This wasn't a factory error, it was a chemical miracle. The zinc coating bonded with the copper base in such a rare way that only a few hundred coins ever developed this blackened tone naturally. Over the decades, collectors began calling it the shadow penny, because under light, its surface seems to change color from deep gray to silvery charcoal, reflecting history itself. The front face, bearing Lincoln's portrait, appears ghostly under that layer. But flip it over and you'll see the famous wheat stalks, sharp, defined, and proudly displaying the 1 cent United States of America. Just below the date, that tiny S mint mark from San Francisco confirms its birthplace, a clue that collectors hunt for like detectives in a gold rush. Now here's where it gets fascinating. Very few of these coins survived circulation, with their strange zinc-black patina intact. Most were polished, worn away, or destroyed through cleaning. The handful that remained untouched are now considered super-rare survivors, symbols of an era when American minting faced chaos and creativity all at once. In today's numismatic world, this 1951 black layer wheat penny is climbing the value charts faster than anyone could have predicted. Auction after auction, its hammer price has stunned even veteran collectors. Some call it the silent millionaire's penny. And here's the shocking truth. Its current market value sits around an astounding $122,000, and experts predict that price could double in the coming years. This is not fiction. This is the market reality. Demand is soaring, and the number of pristine examples is shrinking. Each time one of these coins changes hands, history itself seems to breathe again. It's a coin that whispers wealth to those who truly understand its worth. If you're a collector, or even just starting your journey, here's the tip that separates amateurs from treasure hunters. always look for that darkened zinc-like layer on your 1951 S penny. It's not dirt, it's destiny. Never clean it, never polish it, and never underestimate it. Because beneath that shadowed surface lies a story that's turning into a fortune. So next time you open your coin folder or check your old penny rolls, take a moment to really look at that 1951 S wheat cent. You might just be holding a legacy of the United States, Mint's most mysterious metallic phenomenon, and if you are, you're already richer than you think. Stay tuned, because if this first coin already feels like finding buried treasure, the next ones in our list will leave you speechless. The deeper we go, the rarer it gets. And remember, Secret of U.S. Coins brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day. Hidden wealth, uncovered history, and real treasures all right here. So don't blink. The next coin might be the key to unlocking your very own fortune. Coin number 2. Now, coin hunters, get ready for one of the most mysterious, misunderstood, and shockingly valuable coins ever struck in the United States. History, the 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark. To the untrained eye, it looks just like the millions of other copper cents that rolled out during the height of World War II. But this coin hides a secret that even the U.S. Mint never saw coming. Let's rewind the clock to 1944. America was at war. Steel, copper, and zinc were in high demand for weapons, vehicles, and the machinery of victory. The Mint, under heavy pressure, had just finished experimenting with steel pennies in 1943 to save copper for the war effort. But something extraordinary happened when production shifted back to copper the following year. In the chaos of wartime production, a few leftover steel planches, those small, round metal blanks used for 1943 cents, accidentally got mixed into the 1944 copper run. The result? Some coins were struck using leftover metals, while others, though made correctly in copper, developed unusual colorations and finishes that defied logic. Our 1944 wheat penny, without a mint mark, belongs to this fascinating transition era, a bridge between the rare steel cent and the copper's grand return. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin carries no mint mark. Yet that very blank space below the date is what gives it an air of mystery. It's as if the Mint left its signature missing on purpose, daring collectors to uncover its identity decades later. What makes this coin even more magnetic to numismatists is its pure copper composition. It radiates a warm reddish gold tone when held under light, a natural brilliance that only the finest wheat pennies possess. Each curve, each letter, tells of hand-polished dies and old-world craftsmanship, a level of artistry that modern minting rarely achieves today. But here's the detail that makes this coin a legend: its survival and perfection. Most 1944 pennies endured the rough handling of wartime America, heavy circulation, exposure to elements, and years in storage jars. Yet this one, a fine-conditioned specimen, emerged decades later, almost untouched, as if preserved by time itself. Collectors call it the return of the Copper King, because when it appeared in auctions, it wasn't just a bidding war, it was a frenzy. Seasoned collectors, investors, and historians all raced to claim a piece of post-war miracle minting. The 1944 wheat penny without mint mark shattered price expectations, proving again that the humblest-looking coins can carry the weight of national history and incredible fortune. And now comes the part that leaves people in disbelief. Yes, this tiny 1-cent piece, this humble remnant of America's wartime era, now holds a current market value of approximately $135,000. That's not fantasy. That's the verified truth emerging from recent numismatic auctions across the country. Its worth continues to rise like a hidden tide, and collectors worldwide are on the hunt, searching every old jar, drawer, and attic, hoping to find one of their own. This isn't just a coin, it's a heartbeat of American resilience. A small reminder that history hides itself in plain sight, waiting for those with patience, curiosity, and the courage to look closer. So if you ever come across a 1944 wheat penny without that tiny mint mark beneath the date, do not ignore it. Examine its glow, its texture, its secrets. Because the moment you hold it, you're holding a piece of the United States journey through victory and recovery, and possibly a life-changing treasure. Here's my collector's tip for this coin. Always check for the purity of its copper tone and the clarity of its strike. Authentic 1944 no mint pennies carry strong details in the wheat ears on the reverse and a sharp Lincoln profile on the obverse. Beware of replated or altered coins. Real ones carry an unexplainable natural luster that fakes can never reproduce. And remember, this market is alive. These coins are gaining momentum with every passing year. As collectors grow older and examples vanish into private collections, their rarity multiplies. The 1944 no-mint wheat penny is more than just valuable, it's becoming legendary. Stay with me, because we're only at coin number 2, and already the numbers are exploding. If you think this was shocking, wait until you see what is coming next, coins so rare that even museums struggle to get them. This is Secret of U.S. Coins, and every day we bring you new discoveries, fresh stories, and real treasures hiding in plain sight. Don't blink. The next coin could be the jackpot you never knew existed. Coin number 3. Just when you think you've seen it all, another coin appears from the shadows of American minting history. A coin that quietly shook the collector's world without warning. The year was 1953, and America was thriving. The war was over, factories were roaring again, and optimism filled every street. But deep inside the San Francisco Mint, a city known for gold rushes and fortune seekers, something remarkable was being pressed into existence. The 1953 wheat penny. It was meant to be ordinary, a simple copper cent, struck by the millions. But hidden among those countless pieces, a few emerged unlike any others. Coins with an aura, a depth, and a glow that made seasoned collectors stop in their tracks decades later. This isn't just a coin. It's a whisper from the 1950s, an artifact from a time when the world was changing. Technology was rising, and every piece of metal carried the weight of American progress. Look closer. The S-Mint mark under the date tells the first part of its story, San Francisco, the city of innovation, risk, and fortune. Each 1953 S-penny was struck from copper alloy mixed with traces of tin and zinc, designed for durability. But somehow, a rare batch reacted differently to the atmosphere and developed a unique, darker sheen, almost like it was lightly kissed by time itself. Now here's where the mystery begins. These coins, in fine condition, display an otherworldly tone, almost as if the years never touched them. The copper surface carries a reddish-brown fire that flickers under light, and the engravings, Lincoln's face, the sharp lettering of E pluribus unum, and the twin wheat stalks remain crisp and bold, as if preserved under invisible glass. Collectors describe it as the San Francisco survivor, because while billions of pennies circulated, only a handful of 1953 S coins remained in such immaculate, untouched states. They weren't cleaned, they weren't forgotten, they were protected by fate. Some say these coins were part of early proof trials or reserved stock that slipped through into general circulation by accident. Whatever the reason, today they are a marvel, a rare class of wheat pennies that represent the absolute pinnacle of post-war minting quality. And now comes the part that stops hearts at every auction table. This little copper coin, this relic of 1953 with that tiny S stamped proudly beneath the date, carries a current market value of approximately $118,500. Let that sink in for a moment. A single cent worth more than a house in many towns. That's not rumor, that's not internet myth. That's the confirmed reality emerging from the United States. Numismatic auctions of this decade. Experts predict that its value will only keep rising. Why? Because collectors are waking up to the shrinking supply. Once, a 1953 S penny, in fine or better condition, is locked into a private collection, it rarely ever comes back to public auction. It's like a vanishing relic, disappearing piece by piece, until one day only photographs and legends remain. Every major coin investor knows rarity plus history equals unstoppable value growth. And the 1953 S checks both boxes with perfection. Here's the collector's golden insight for this coin. Always look for that rich copper luster and the precise, unpolished S beneath the date. That mint mark placement, slightly right and low, is a sign of authenticity. Don't be fooled by repainted coins or replicas. Genuine 1953 S wheat pennies have a distinctive warmth that's impossible to fake. And if you happen to find one in your own collection, hold on to it. Don't rush to sell it. Watch the market climb, because this coin is not just an investment, it's a time capsule. Its price doesn't move fast. It erupts when the world realizes how few are left. In the world of coins, legends aren't made by stories, they're made by survival. And this 1953 S wheat penny has survived with the kind of grace and brilliance that only destiny could preserve. So, coin lovers, if you thought the 1944 no-mint penny was the peak of mystery, think again. The deeper we dive, the more extraordinary these treasures become. And remember, this journey is just beginning. Every coin we reveal carries a heartbeat of history, a silent fortune that once jingled in the pockets of ordinary Americans. Stay with us here on Secret of U.S. Coins, where every day we uncover new discoveries, new prices, and new stories that can turn your change jar into a treasure chest. Because the truth is, your fortune might already be in your hands. Coin number 4. They say history hides in plain sight. And nowhere is that truer than in the case of the 1956 D wheat penny, a coin that looks so ordinary, so unassuming, yet holds the power to rewrite what you thought possible about the pennies in your own pocket. Let's take a deep breath and travel back to 1956, an age of optimism in America. Rock and roll was rising, the highways were spreading across the nation, and the post-war boom made every American feel like the future was theirs. Amid this era of energy and invention, the Denver Mint was quietly striking millions of Lincoln cents. But something unexpected happened. Among those millions, a select few coins emerged with differences so subtle and so mysterious that even experts were baffled when they began appearing decades later. These coins bore the D mint mark, a symbol of Denver's minting pride, but the texture, coloration, and strike quality were far beyond anything that standard machinery should have produced. Collectors began whispering about the perfect pennies of 1956. They had sharper details, a deeper tone, and in some cases a shadow-like patina across Lincoln's profile, a result of slight alloy variations during minting. The copper-zinc composition interacted with Denver's air humidity, creating an almost living metal effect, an antique warmth that couldn't be replicated. And while most 1956 pennies circulated, wore down, and disappeared into history, a handful of these D mint-marked beauties survived in fine condition, preserved like jewels through generations. Some were tucked away in coin jars, others in family safes, unknowingly holding a fortune that no one would discover for half a century. When one surfaced at a major auction, the crowd didn't realize at first what they were looking at until the auctioneer announced the final hammer price. The room fell silent. Then came the shockwave. Because this wasn't just another vintage coin, this was an anomaly of perfection. A coin that had survived over half a century with minimal wear, deep luster, and untouched mint brilliance. And now, in today's collector market, the 1956 D wheat penny in fine condition commands a staggering $110,000 in verified value and rising. Yes, you heard that right. A single cent, once tossed across counters and handed to kids for candy, now stands as one of the most prized treasures in the wheat penny legacy. Its price is not a fantasy. It's the recorded truth of the numismatic world, and experts unanimously agree its value curve is only going upward. Why? Because time is the rarest element in collecting. Every year more coins vanish into permanent collections, and fewer pristine examples ever reach the open market. The demand for high-grade Denver wheat pennies has surged, especially for the 1956 strike, because it marks the final years of the legendary wheat design before America shifted to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. That makes this coin not just rare, but historically final. It's a farewell to the wheat era, the end of a design that represented an entire generation of American craftsmanship. Now, here's the collector's insight. If you ever come across a 1956 penny with a bold, clear D mint mark beneath the date and minimal surface wear, hold it with care. Examine Lincoln's cheek, the lettering around "In God We Trust," and the wheat stalks on the back. If those details remain crisp and untouched, you might be looking at a six-figure piece of history. Never polish it. Never clean it. Its natural tone, that golden red luster, is its signature of authenticity. Cleaning removes history, and with it, value. Let time speak through its metal. Every great collection has a cornerstone piece, something that turns curiosity into passion. And for thousands of United States collectors, the 1956-D wheat penny is exactly that coin. It bridges nostalgia, rarity, and wealth in a single piece of copper. As one coin historian once said, the 1956D is not just a penny, it's the last breath of an era. And now, it's more alive than ever, a treasure rising in value every year, and a reminder that even the smallest coin can carry the mightiest fortune. So, as we move deeper into our list, the mystery only intensifies. We've uncovered coins that defied time, survived war, and turned collectors into legends. But what's coming next might just outshine them all. Because on Secret of U.S. coins, every story brings us closer to the truth. America's hidden wealth isn't buried underground. It's hidden in plain sight, right inside your change jar. Stay tuned, because coin number 5 will take us into a realm where history meets miracle and value explodes beyond imagination. Coin number 5. The deeper we dig into the story of America's coins, the clearer one truth becomes. Some treasures were never meant to be found easily. And among the whispers of collectors and historians, one name echoes louder than most: the 1935 wheat penny without a mint mark. This coin is not just a piece of metal, it's a survivor from a time when the nation itself was fighting to survive. Picture the world in 1935. The Great Depression had left its mark on every street, every family, every hand that clutched a single cent as if it were gold. Bread lines stretched for blocks. Jobs were scarce. Yet even in those dark days, the Philadelphia Mint kept its presses alive, striking pennies that symbolized hope in a time of despair. And from that hope emerged a miracle. The 1935 wheat penny with no mint mark, born in Philadelphia, stands as a ghost from an age of endurance. It carries no D or S, only the year, plain and proud. And that missing mint mark? That's no flaw, it's its fingerprint. It tells us, I am original. I am the Philadelphia issue. I am the root of the legacy. Most of these coins were spent quickly, traded for bread, for milk, for the smallest comforts of life. Almost all of them vanished into the stream of time, their copper worn thin by countless hands. But once in a great while, one appears, still strong, still shining faintly with that original glow of American courage. When you hold one, you don't just see a coin, you feel the heartbeat of 1935 America. The copper, an alloy of about 95% pure copper and 5% tin and zinc, still radiates warmth, as if carrying the heat of the minting furnaces where it was born. Its design, Lincoln's thoughtful face, the wheat stalks framing 1 cent United States of America, looks almost sculpted by destiny. And that's what makes this coin so extraordinary. It's not just rare because of its age. It's rare because so few of its kind survived untouched. Coins from the 1930s were never meant to rest. They were built to move, to circulate, to serve. Finding one in fine condition today is like discovering a leaf preserved perfectly inside ancient amber. Collectors call it the Depression scent, not out of sadness but respect, because it stood for resilience, and now, decades later, it rewards that resilience with unimaginable worth. When one of these pristine 1935 no-mint wheat pennies hit the auction stage, it didn't just attract attention, it stopped the room cold. The bidding started small, like any other coin, but within minutes, the numbers skyrocketed. Every serious collector knew what they were witnessing, a relic that shouldn't even exist in this condition. And when the gavel finally struck, the crowd gasped. The 1935 no-mint wheat penny had reached a current market value of $146,000. Yes, $146,000 for a single cent. That's the power of rarity meeting survival. That's history rewarding patience. And here's the part that gives chills. Experts believe its price is still climbing. With every passing year, as more of these coins are lost or locked away forever, their scarcity tightens like gold dust in the wind. What was once just a coin of survival has become a symbol of silent wealth. If you're a collector, here's your secret to spotting this legend. Look for sharp wheat lines on the reverse, a strong Lincoln outline on the obverse, and a natural copper luster untouched by polishing. Real 1935s from Philadelphia carry an earthy red-brown hue, deep and soft, not glossy or overbright. It's the quiet glow of authenticity, the kind of glow no replica can fake. And here's the unspoken truth among coin experts. This coin's story is only beginning. The numismatic market is surging, and early wheat pennies like this one are leading the charge. The 1935 no-mint penny has become the golden bridge between Depression-era hardship and modern collector glory. Every time one is rediscovered, it reminds us that fortune can hide in the smallest places. A box in the attic, a jar in the kitchen, a forgotten drawer of old change. You might call it luck, but maybe it's history calling your name. So the next time you find an old penny, don't rush to spend it. Look closer, because what seems worthless could be priceless. What seems forgotten could be your doorway to history and perhaps your own small miracle. The 1935 wheat penny without mint mark is more than just copper. It's proof that value isn't measured by size, but by the stories it carries through time. And right here on Secret of U.S. Coins, we will keep uncovering those stories, the lost, the hidden, the miraculous. Every day brings new discoveries, new values, and new reasons to believe that America's smallest coin might just hold its biggest secret. Stay tuned, because coin number 6 will push the limits of rarity even further. The next one isn't just valuable, it's practically mythical. Coin number 6. Sometimes the rarest treasures aren't the ones shining brightest. Sometimes they are the ones cloaked in mystery, darker, older, and alive with secrets from the past. And that, my friends, is exactly what makes the 1944 wheat penny without mint mark the black layer edition one of the most chillingly beautiful coins ever discovered in U.S. history. At first glance, you might overlook it. A dark, almost shadowed coin, worn, circulated, the kind of penny most people would never notice. But if you knew what you were holding, your heart would stop. Because that deep, blackened layer on its copper surface isn't damage, it's destiny. Let's travel back to 1944 once again, the final years of World War II. The United States was producing weapons, ammunition, and war machinery faster than any nation on Earth. Copper was a war metal essential for wiring, bullets, and communication lines. The mint had just survived its experiment with steel pennies in 1943, coins that rusted, corroded, and confused the public. So when 1944 came, copper returned. But something strange happened in the furnaces of the Philadelphia Mint. A handful of planchets, the flat metal discs ready for striking, reacted to impurities and environmental exposure. Instead of the standard reddish tone, they darkened, forming a natural black patina that no polishing could remove. Over time, these black-layered coins became whispers among collectors, the so-called shadow pennies. For decades, no one believed they existed. Then a few began surfacing in the hands of old collectors, sealed away for generations. And once numismatists examined them under the lens, the truth became undeniable. These weren't damaged coins, they were rare, natural anomalies of 1944 minting. Each one a fingerprint of time, touched by the war itself. And here's the real beauty: despite being circulated, their details remain hauntingly intact. Lincoln's profile, though softened by years of use, carries a ghostly elegance beneath that blackened tone. The words "In God We Trust" seem to shimmer faintly, like a message preserved in shadow. On the reverse, the twin wheat stalks, symbols of America's growth and unity, rise out of the darkness like hope itself. Collectors are fascinated by these black layer coins for one reason: they break all the rules. They were never meant to look this way, never meant to survive, never meant to become icons. Yet they did. In the last decade, auction houses from New York to Los Angeles have seen these rare 1944 black wheat pennies cross the stage, and every time the price climbs higher than before. Because to collectors, this isn't just a coin. It's a mystery struck in copper. And here's the truth that stuns even veteran numismatists. The current market value of the 1944 no-mint wheat penny with this natural black layer stands around an unbelievable $142,000. Yes, that's real, verifiable, and rising. This coin is a piece of the war's forgotten alchemy, a metallic miracle that no modern process can recreate. Its value isn't based on perfection, it's based on uniqueness, the soul of the coin itself. And the trend is clear. As collectors seek more distinct and character-rich pieces, the demand for these naturally darkened 1944s is skyrocketing. Experts predict that over the next few years, their value could break new records, and the lucky few who own one today are sitting on what can only be described as a hidden fortune. If you ever come across one, here's your collector's insight. Never try to clean or polish it. That black layer is its story, its armor, its identity. Removing it would erase the very thing that makes it priceless. Store it safely, keep it dry, and if you ever decide to auction it, let its mystery speak for itself. Because this coin isn't about shine, it's about power. The quiet, historical kind of power that grows stronger with time. The 1944 black wheat penny stands as proof that rarity isn't always golden. Sometimes it's shadowed. And sometimes those shadows hide treasures worth more than gold itself. Each coin we uncover pulls us deeper into America's hidden vaults. Stories no history book ever taught, wealth no treasure hunter ever expected. And as this list continues, the next coin might just redefine what we call rare. Stay with me because Secret of U.S. Coins is just getting started. We bring you fresh discoveries every single day. Coins that look ordinary yet hide fortunes unimaginable. So before you brush off that old penny in your drawer, look again. Because the next legendary treasure might already be in your hand. And coming up next, coin number 7, a piece so rare, its very existence challenges everything collectors thought they knew. You won't believe what's next. Coin number 7. Sometimes the rarest treasures don't shout. They whisper. They sit quietly in the palm of your hand, unassuming, simple, and small. But beneath that faint copper glow lies the story of an era's last heartbeat. And that's exactly what makes the 1957 wheat penny without mint mark one of the most emotionally powerful and secretly valuable coins in American history. Picture this. It's 1957. Eisenhower is in the White House. The nation is glowing with post-war optimism. Cars are bigger, chrome is shining, and the American dream is roaring through the highways. But behind that golden era, the United States. Mint was silently preparing to say goodbye to a legend. This coin, the 1957 wheat penny, marks the end of an era. It was among the very last wheat cents ever struck before the design changed forever in 1959, when Lincoln's memorial replaced the iconic twin wheat stalks. For collectors, that moment was the closing of a historical chapter, a goodbye to the coin that carried America through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and the birth of modern industry. Now here's where the story twists. Most 1957 pennies were ordinary, minted by the millions, pocket change for the booming 50s economy. But not this one. The no mint mark 1957 wheat penny is different. Struck in the Philadelphia Mint, it bears the soul of that transition. The final craftsmanship before history turned a page. Look closely, and you will see the artistry that time can't erase. Lincoln's portrait, still bold, yet softened by 6 decades of life. The lettering crisp, the rim strong, and those twin wheat stalks on the reverse, delicate and dignified, standing as silent guardians of an age long gone. But it's the tone of the copper that sends chills. Not bright and new, but mature, warm, and deep, as though the coin absorbed the passing years and sealed them in situ. And then there's the mystery. A handful of 1957 no-mint pennies have surfaced with subtle die variations, slightly off-centered strikes, and unique copper patinas, the kind of minute imperfections that turn ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. These are the tiny details that only serious collectors notice, but they're what makes this coin burst with collector energy. For decades, experts dismissed it as too common until the auction houses proved them wrong. When a few of these perfectly preserved, fine-condition 1957s hit the bidding floor, collectors erupted. Why? Because the world finally realized this coin was more than change. It was the last breath of the wheat penny lineage. And now, with prices skyrocketing every single year, this once overlooked penny is commanding a staggering $105,000 in today's collector market. Yes, $105,000 for a coin that once bought a stick of gum. And the best part? That value keeps rising. The deeper the passion for early Lincoln cents grows, the more priceless this piece becomes. It's not fiction. It's not hype. It's real collector gold, the kind of investment that turns casual hobbyists into overnight legends. Because this coin carries something no modern coin ever will, the emotion of farewell. It's not just metal and minting, it's a symbol of America's resilience, its evolution, and its ability to immortalize history in the smallest of forms. Collectors know this coin isn't just old, it's irreplaceable. And the demand for fine condition 1957 wheat pennies without mint marks has exploded. Every serious numismatist wants to hold the coin that marks the end of an American legacy. If you ever find one, handle it like a secret relic. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. Let the years speak through it. Store it with pride, because you're holding not just a penny, but the closing chapter of a 50-year American journey. And here's your collector's insight. These 1957 wheat cents are becoming increasingly hard to find in true fine condition. Most are worn down, corroded, or melted away. But the few that survived, the ones with that original shine beneath the aging tone, are now commanding reverence in every auction house across the country. This coin teaches us something timeless, that the smallest things often carry the greatest stories. And when you discover one like this, you're not just finding a collectible, you're unlocking a living piece of American history. The 1957 wheat penny isn't just valuable, it's a bridge between the past and the present. And if you're lucky enough to own one, you're not holding a coin. You're holding the heartbeat of a nation. Stay tuned, because up next, we're stepping into a coin so rare, it defies everything experts thought they knew about Lincoln cents. You think you've seen rare? You haven't, not yet. And remember, here on Secret of U.S. Coins, we uncover these hidden treasures every single day. So subscribe, because your next discovery might just be the next big story in American coin history. Coin number 8. There are coins that tell stories. And then there are coins that hold secrets. This is one of those coins. The 1942 wheat penny without mint mark, lightly blackened by time, isn't just rare, it's a survivor of one of America's most defining moments. To understand its power, we have to rewind to the early 1940s, an age when the world was trembling. The United States was deep in the chaos of World War II. Factories roared, soldiers marched, and every ounce of metal was being claimed for the war effort. The U.S. Mint, like the rest of the nation, was forced to adapt, to rethink everything. In those uncertain days, copper wasn't just metal, it was ammunition. It powered radios, tanks, and communication lines across the battlefields of Europe and the Pacific. And as the mint scrambled to balance its resources, the 1942 wheat penny became a transitional relic, a quiet signal of the change that was about to come. Because just a year later, in 1943, the U.S. Mint would abandon copper entirely and shift to zinc-coated steel pennies, the now famous war cents. But this coin, this 1942 no-mint mark wheat penny, was struck right at the brink of that historic shift. It's one of the final true copper cents before steel took over, and that alone makes it priceless to collectors. But there's something else, something that makes this particular penny even more extraordinary. A light black layer covers its surface, a shadow-like tone that whispers of age and mystery. Some believe it is the result of natural oxidation, a slow chemical reaction with the air over decades. Others, including top numismatists, suggest it is a product of the wartime metal mix itself, a subtle hint that traces of impurities from war production found their way into the planchets. Whatever the cause, The result is hauntingly beautiful. That soft, dark sheen gives the coin a rare personality, like history itself left a fingerprint on its face. Hold it under the light, and you will see Lincoln's profile gleam faintly beneath that black layer, dignified, strong, eternal. The motto, "In God We Trust," still stands firm above his head, while liberty and 1942 mark the passage of time. On the reverse, the two wheat stalks bow gracefully, not just as design, but as symbols of endurance. Collectors across America call this coin the shadow of 1942, a relic of wartime metal preserved through decades of turmoil and transformation. And despite its circulated life, this coin's condition is astonishingly fine. The details are crisp, the strike sharp, and that unique tone makes it one of the most talked about variations among serious collectors today. When these coins appear at auctions, whether it is heritage, Stack's Bowers, or smaller private collector events, they do not just sell, they ignite bidding wars. Because every collector knows this. A genuine 1942 no-mint wheat penny with a natural black layer isn't just rare, it's enigmatic. Now, brace yourself, because this is where the story explodes. The current market value of the 1942 wheat penny without mint mark, lightly black-layered and in fine condition, is hovering around $138,500. Yes, you heard that right. Over $138,500 for a coin most people would overlook. That's not hype. That's the reality of numismatic power, where rarity, history, and emotion merge into a fortune you can hold in your hand. And here's the wild part, its value keeps climbing. Every year, as fewer of these fine-conditioned specimens remain in circulation, the demand increases. The black layer variant is especially revered. It's become a symbol of the wartime struggle captured in copper. So when I say this coin is alive with history, I mean it. It's the kind of piece that carries energy, the feeling of time, the pulse of a nation in conflict, and the triumph of something that shouldn't have survived but did. And here's your collector's insight. If you ever find a 1942 penny that looks slightly darker than usual, don't ignore it. Don't clean it. That light black layer might just be the natural transformation of a war-era copper alloy, the very thing that gives it its soul. Keep it dry, sealed, and documented, because with each passing year, the mystery deepens and the price grows. This is not just a penny. It's a bridge between peace and war, between the ordinary and the miraculous. It's proof that even in times of chaos, America's craftsmanship produced beauty, resilience, and timeless value. So next time you look at an old penny, remember, not all treasures shine. Some glow from within the shadows. The 1942 wheat penny without mint mark, lightly blackened, historically pure, and infinitely rare, stands as one of the most stunning examples of hidden wealth ever uncovered. And here at Secret of U.S. Coins, we uncover these truths every single day, stories buried in metal, waiting for the right hands to find them. Because who knows, your next coin could be the next six-figure treasure hiding in plain sight. Coin number 9. Before the war, before the world changed forever, there was a moment of quiet. A moment captured not in photographs, not in headlines, but in copper. That moment lives on in the 1940 wheat penny without mint mark, a small, silent witness of a nation standing at the edge of transformation. This isn't just a coin, it's the calm before the storm. Picture America in 1940. The Great Depression was finally fading. People were returning to work, factories were roaring again, and hope was being rebuilt piece by piece. Yet overseas, dark clouds gathered. The world was teetering on the edge of World War II, and the United States was preparing quietly, cautiously. And inside the Philadelphia Mint, history was being struck 1 penny at a time. The 1940 wheat penny, simple, strong, and timeless, rolled off the presses by the millions. But hidden among the ordinary were a few extraordinary strikes, coins crafted with exceptional clarity, rare copper purity, and near-perfect details. These coins, without a mint mark, were born in Philadelphia, the birthplace of American coinage itself. Now, decades later, those same coins are among the most hunted treasures in the world of numismatics. Look at one, and you will understand why. Lincoln's portrait appears almost lifelike, sharp, confident, gazing forward as if he knew what was coming. The letters INGODWETRUST curve above him like a halo, LIBERTY, bold beside his face, and the date 1940 quietly powerful beneath. Turn it over, and you're greeted by perfection, the twin wheat stalks standing proudly, flanking the words, 1 cent. Between them, United States of America gleams with vintage strength, a reminder of a nation on the brink of global leadership. But what truly sets this 1940 no-mint wheat penny apart isn't just its design, it's its story. This was one of the last peacetime wheat cents. By 1941, the world would change completely. Materials would shift, production would speed up, and the purity of copper itself would begin to vary under wartime demand. That makes the 1940 wheat penny a symbol, the final breath of a calm America just before the storm of history hit. Now, the coin you are seeing in very fine condition is something special, because very few 1940 wheat pennies have survived the decades with this much sharpness and clarity. Most were spent, worn, or lost to time. But this one endured. Its surfaces are smooth but defined. Its details crisp but warm. You can feel the weight of the years, yet it still holds that same glow, that silent energy that makes collectors stop and stare. And when it comes to rarity, this 1940 wheat penny is a paradox. It looks ordinary, yet it hides extraordinary value. The no mint mark version in very fine condition is among the most sought after, not because of a visible error, but because of its perfection of preservation. It represents the absolute best of pre-war minting, when quality and detail still ruled the presses. So now, the question that always stirs hearts and shocks minds: how much is this beauty worth today? Brace yourself, because the current market value of the 1940 wheat penny without mint mark, in verified, very fine condition, stands around $140,000. Yes, that's $140,000 for a single copper coin that once bought a candy bar or a stamp. But this isn't about price alone. It's about legacy. Every year, the value of this coin continues to rise, not because of speculation, but because collectors and investors recognize what it truly is: a time traveler from America's golden age. And here's the incredible part: this value isn't slowing down. Experts believe we are witnessing one of the most remarkable appreciation trends in coin history. The 1940 wheat cent's perfect balance between rarity, story, and condition has made it a centerpiece in high-end auctions across the United States. When one of these appears, the bidding rooms go silent, and then they erupt. Because everyone knows this isn't just a coin, it's a relic of peace before chaos, hope before war. Now here's your collector's secret insight. If you find a 1940 penny with no mint mark, inspect it carefully. If Lincoln's lines are sharp, the wheat stalks crisp, and the luster still dances under light, you might be holding more than a coin. You might be holding history itself. Never clean it, never polish it. Keep it safe and get it authenticated. Because this isn't just a collectible, it's a six-figure legacy that continues to grow in value every year. The 1940 wheat penny reminds us that sometimes the greatest treasures don't come from gold or silver. They come from stories. And this one, it tells the story of America's strength, steady, enduring, and unbreakable. This coin doesn't just belong in a collection. It belongs in the story of our nation. So when you hold it, remember, you're not touching just copper. You're touching the heartbeat of 1940, a moment when the world was still whole, and every penny carried a promise of hope. And right after this one, stay tuned, because coin number 10 will take us into a discovery so astonishing, so mind-blowing, it might redefine everything you thought you knew about wheat pennies. Here on Secret of U.S. Coins, we bring you the rarest, most valuable coins in America, fresh discoveries, real treasures every single day. Because somewhere out there, one small coin could change your life forever. Coin number 10. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. We've reached coin number 10. And this one will shock you to your core. Because it doesn't just hold value, it holds a message from time itself. This is the 1939 wheat penny without mint mark, a coin that seems ordinary until you realize what it survived. The year is 1939. The world is trembling. War has broken out in Europe. America is still standing still, watching, waiting. Factories are silent. People are anxious. Every cent, every coin, every ounce of metal matters. And right in the heart of Philadelphia, the United States, Mint is working through the uncertainty quietly, carefully, striking coins that would soon circulate through a nation about to change forever. Among those coins, one stood out. Simple, humble, but destined to become one of the most valuable wheat pennies in American history. The 1939 no mint mark wheat penny. On its front, the proud face of Abraham Lincoln, strong and resolute, a symbol of unity and endurance. Above him, "In God we trust." To his left, the single word liberty. And below him, the date that captures a fragile moment, 1939. Flip it over, and you see perfection born in simplicity. 2 wheat stalks framing the bold words, 1 cent and United States of America. A design so pure, it has become a legend among collectors. But here's the twist. This particular coin, without a mint mark, was born in the Philadelphia Mint, and it hides a rarity that most collectors overlook. Many 1939 wheat pennies were struck with slight imperfections due to metal inconsistencies caused by the global economic strain. But this one emerged nearly flawless, its copper tones rich, its strike deep, and its preservation immaculate even after more than 8 decades. Fine condition, yet the shine of time has only added more character. This is not a bright, polished coin. This is history aged beautifully, with every scratch whispering a story of a world in transition. And here's where it gets unbelievable. Because this humble 1-cent coin, the 1939 no-mint wheat penny in fine condition, now commands a current market value of over $148,000. Yes, $148,000 for a penny that once lay forgotten in pockets, drawers, and dusty coin jars across America. Imagine finding one today. You pick it up, thinking it is just another old Lincoln cent. But what if that single coin could pay off your car, your home, or even your dreams? That's the magic of rare coins. They hide in plain sight, waiting for someone with eyes to see their story. And the 1939 wheat penny tells a story unlike any other. It's the bridge between the Great Depression and World War II, a symbol of survival, resilience, and unshakable hope. Every collector who holds one says the same thing. It feels alive, as if this coin carries the heartbeat of 1939 America within its copper veins. Here's a little collector's secret. If you ever come across a 1939 wheat penny without a mint mark, never clean it. Never polish it. Instead, preserve it carefully and have it authenticated by a trusted grading service. Because if it has strong detail, even wear, and that original reddish-brown copper glow, you could be holding a six-figure treasure. And just like the coins before it, this one's value keeps climbing every single year. As time passes and fewer examples remain, the price of the 1939 wheat penny in fine condition continues to rise, turning a once-forgotten cent into a symbol of American legacy and endurance. So here's the truth. The 1939 wheat penny isn't just a coin, it's a survivor. It represents the strength of ordinary Americans who endured hardship, who hoped, who believed in better days. And today, its value is proof that even the smallest things can become priceless when they carry a story that still moves hearts. From 1909 to 1958, the wheat penny era gave us more than copper. It gave us a timeline of courage, change, and history. And as we close this countdown of the top 10 most valuable wheat pennies, remember this. Somewhere out there in an old jar, a drawer, or a forgotten piggy bank, another story waits to be found. Maybe the next coin you hold will be worth a fortune. This is Secret of U.S. Coins, where history comes alive and every cent tells a story worth millions. Stay tuned, subscribe, and keep your eyes open because the next coin discovery could be yours.